morning and welcome to Wake and Bake with Old School and Co. I hope you're toking up and tuning in because you know I sure do. I'll tell you what, if you want to come down here and be on the show, you can contact us and we can have you as a guest on the show because that's where we really do some good stuff. Or if you want to be a guest in the audience, you can contact us at Old School and Co. The tickets are free in the audience, and I'll tell you what, I'll throw in a second ticket, half price. It'll be half free, so there you go. I'm sitting here talking to my friend Tanya Riley, and we've got some good stuff to cover today, ma'am. Right
Yes,
on.
we do.
Now, you got a lot of information that we was talking about helping the homeless people.
Mm-hmm. Well, I started me a little program a year ago, December. I got myself in a situation where I was ending up homeless.
Mm-hmm.
I had 5 foster kids. COVID hit. I lost my job, as everybody does. This year's been rough on everybody.
It had, yeah.
Trying to handle things. We maintained, but in the process, we lost everything, including our homes. So we moved into a tiny travel trailer. We struggled through it, but we made it. We got on our feet a little bit, and I wanted to give back to some of the people in the community that had helped us.
Right on, yeah.
And so I started asking around for volunteer work and trying to see what was in our area and see where we needed help, because I live in a small town of Murray County.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of see to help just basic community, give back to my community where
Right.
I was able to go and make a home for them kids. I got there and I started asking around. There wasn't a lot of help. Rural area, small town. Most help was your neighbors. So, hopefully you knew your neighbors. You knew who you was talking to. If you'd lived there long enough, you knew your people. You knew the churches. But me, I'd been gone for a while. I had moved off to Durant and come back, and so I had kind of lost my touch with the community. In the process of me asking, I ran into other people that were homeless. Homeless doesn't just mean not having a house. That means couch hopping. That means living in somebody's extra room. It ain't just living on the streets.
No.
It's a real thing. I started seeing some needs in the area, food boxes, stuff like that. Something in me got a hold of me. I got out there with 5 gallons of soup, a potato soup, and I started giving away soup just to anybody. I didn't want to know your name. I didn't want to know anything about it. I didn't know where it was going or what it was going to do. There was mornings I got up and I thought, oh, I can't do this. I just can't do this. I can't do this. But some kept pushing me, and I did. And
You're bringing tears to my eyes. I love this.
it touches my heart.
I understand, yeah.
We was having some struggles back and forth, but we made it.
Right.
That 5 gallons of soup turned into people giving. They were just stopping and giving. Mm-hmm. They wanted to know why. I didn't know why. I just wanted to.
Right.
Excuse me.
No,
you're sorry.
You're
really
great.
touches
I
me.
understand 100%.
In the process, we grew. I got a grill. I started putting a grill up. We started cooking burgers. I started serving hot meals right there. We gave it a name, Cup.
Okay.
I want to fill your cup. I want to give you something in your cup. We're going to have a cup of soup. We're just going to get together. We're going to have a cup. It has meaning. The homeless sit on the corner. They fill your cup. They fill your cup with money. Mm-hmm. You can go to the homeless shelter. You can get a cup of soup. It fills. You can see your cup half full or half empty. It's kind of all got a meaning. I started seeing this. Me by myself and my volunteers that would come and stop and want to give back and volunteer to serve. We started doing it every Sunday, and we just got bigger and bigger, and the community fought back. They didn't want us to let the homeless know and let them know the homeless was there.
Yeah, you were trying to help people.
Yes, we was trying to help people, but we're bringing knowledge to something that our counties aren't taking care of.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight, out of mind, and as long as nobody was asking questions, it wasn't a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got this person that has a no name, no body, but I'm asking questions. I want to know why. I want to know where it's at, why we're not getting it, why we're not getting the funding. So I started looking into grants.
Right.
There was an Ecg Grant. I wanted to let everyone know about it because it's a really important grant for smaller communities that can get help with anything, basically It's called an ESG grant. It is the Continuum of Care Program funding for the cornerstone of each community homeless system. The ESC grants fund street outreach, homeless preventions, and diversion, emergency shelters, and rapid rehousing. These grants can be applied for by our counties. A lot of times we get overlooked as rural counties.
Right.
They don't look at as much. You see your homeless here a lot. Y'all see them on the corners. We don't see ours a lot. They have friends where they stay in their basements. They stay in their garages. They stay in their sheds in the back. You know, that's their home, but they're still homeless. That's still, just because we don't see them as much as they do in the big cities, we still have them. Each one of these grants, you can go on and look up and find a different grant for grocery stores, helping put in anything as far as feeding people. You can get food from local, say, VFWs that already feeds. Say they have an overstock or they have extra stuff. A lot of times they will volunteer to donate that stuff back to someone who is going to donate free meals to people.
Cool.
They will, you'll be amazed at the people that comes out of the woodwork and donate the food. It was just amazing. I started out with just my heart and soul and some soup, and let's do this. This is what I wanted to do. KXI picked us up. They did a story on my nonprofit. They let me speak and tell them about all my fear, about, you know, about the good, the bad, and just, I want to keep speaking about it. I want people to know. I want a new cup in every town. It don't have to be a cup. It can be, take your own name, stand out there, hand soup. You know, I'm Mr. Jones standing on the corner. I just want to feed you this plate. Tell me how many people every day you cook a full meal and you have that one extra plate. It's going to go in that refrigerator. You might come back and eat it.
Yeah, you might.
But you might not.
Yeah.
Tell me if there's a little neighbor lady 3 blocks down the road that's been by herself that her husband died that you can't take that plate to. Get to know your neighbors. It's coming back to time in the community. We got to know our neighbors. We got to be
a family,
a tribe, a community, a protection. We're losing that. That's where all of this kept leading in, and we just pulled more people in, and, you know, CUP became a big thing for us in Murray County.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
It did, because, you know, I didn't ask no questions. I didn't ask your name. If you couldn't get to us, we had delivery service. We had people volunteered their cars to do the county, you know, and just here, let me take this food. Let me bring you a meal this week to cook.
Yeah.
And we cooked every time. It was fresh. It was homemade. We didn't go out. We didn't purchase it. We put every bit of love and everything we felt right there in it.
That is so cool.
And wanted to make it, you know, make it something. I have some amazing ladies back in town, you know, Linda Tyler, Janetta Phillips, you know, Kathy Chitwood, in a church up there. They took over the program after I kind of had some mishaps. I was going to adopt the children. The children went home to their parents, but I kind of had mental health issues.
Hey,
so
stuff happens.
That's
you know,
right.
Life happens. You know?
I stepped up and I stepped back because I couldn't feel that I could provide with what I needed to be. And now I'm at a point I can accept the fact I'm borderline personality disorder. I talk to a lot of people. I want them to feel what I feel because this is what drove me.
Right, I understand. And we're going to take a short break on that because that's a good place to end. And I'll tell you what, didn't give a shout out to our sponsors. We're going to give a shout out to our new sponsor, Yellow Dog Coffee, right on. We got ORCA, Oklahomans for Responsible Cannabis Action. You bet. I want action in my cannabis. Right on. Let's handle it. We've also got Mary Jane's Dispensary, 19th and Sunny Lane and more. And we've also got OTU Media. Okay, we're going to take a short break. Hope you toke up and tune back in. Welcome back to Wake and Bake with Old School and Co. I hope you toked up and tuning back in, because you know I sure do during them breaks. Going to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, Be Elevated and Yellow Dog Coffee. Need to check them out right on. Now, I was going to say, if you want to be in the audience, all you can do is contact us here at Old School and Co. and we'll give you the information on how to get tickets. Tickets are free. Second ticket is half price. You can't beat that. I'm sitting here talking to my friend Tanya Riley, and we're just rocking with some good stuff.
Yeah, we have been. Let's get back into that.
Let's get back into that. Now, we're talking about how to help the homeless people. Now, this is great because this not only covers veterans, but it covers a large demographic of people. Not only people that are homeless, we see are homeless, but people that are couch surfing and stuff like that.
Yes.
Now, you've got a program, CUP.
Yes.
How you help feed people. I just love that.
Yes, we do. It's CUP, C-U-P. It's Communities Uniting People.
Okay.
Is what it is. We're out of Sulphur, Oklahoma. It's at the First Christian Church. The address is 403 West Muskogee in Sulphur, Oklahoma. We usually serve a hot meal every Sunday, usually about 11 o'clock. And we do deliveries in the Murray County area. We're still just a small based, so we just kind of stick to our county. We're trying to get it larger and go,
Right,
or get someone to connect with us, and we'll come help them out in their area, if that's what they need. If you want to get a free meal delivered and you are in Murray County for that day, you can call 580-622-3257. You can speak with Miss Linda Tyler or Kathy Chitwood, or pretty much any of them lovely ladies that answers the phone. They're wonderful. Yeah, them ladies are wonderful up there. So, but we try to get out. They do have blankets, some of them, that we can get in and help, some with heaters, things we do have donations for. You're more than welcome to send in donations to the First Christian Church for the CUP program. It helps with basically like our foods, and if we need extra blankets or socks or personal items for our homeless in our Murray County area.
Because when you're homeless, you do need a lot.
Yes.
People, if you haven't been in that situation, and we have had a lot of people in that situation, you wear out things a lot because you're out there in the weather all the time.
Yes, socks are so important for the winter. Socks. Mm-hmm. Because their feet get wet. That is when a lot of them have illnesses or they have diabetes, and their feet is their one thing they have to protect. That's what gets them from one place to the next. That's where they have to go. Socks are important. You see someone standing on the side of the road that needs something, has a sign, I guarantee they'll appreciate a dry pair of socks.
Change your socks. That's
yes.
one thing. Yeah, there's one thing the medics always do. Change your socks.
It helps with your health. A pair of socks will make you happy. Put a
will.
pair of socks on and walk
really
around. It
will
makes you happy.
Yeah.
So just any small things. People think, let's help with the homeless. We got to donate all this money. You know what? Stop and give them a small bag of personal items, a few Q-tips, some toilet paper. You don't have to dish out money. It's just about your heart. It's given.
Right.
It's given.
Because you started out with you said potato soup.
Potato soup.
Okay. And it's grown from just regular potato soup to you can do full meals now.
Yes, full meals. We do full meals. We take in donations, and they do garage sales to donate back to our stuff, to put money back into the account, and so that we have extra to do things on in case we want to do a special event. They just recently, we did donated back one of our good sponsors, Daniel Talbert. He passed in our county.
Oh, sorry.
He was one of our big contributors.
Mm-hmm.
He was a good man. He helped a lot of people in the area. Yeah. So it was Daniel's Collision Center there in Sulphur, Oklahoma. So
cool.
Amazing man. And, it touched everybody. And he wanted to give back, but he had his business, so he gave to us to give back to the community.
That is so cool.
And just everybody stepped up. And you can do this anywhere. Anybody can stand on the side of the road and you can hand out toothbrushes, you can hand out whatever. It's about giving back. It's about being a voice for people who maybe have an illness that can't be a voice, or they have some reason that they are afraid to speak out. It may be so much as they didn't get enough education and can't fill out an application. Right. There is simple things. Just talk to them. You don't have to know their name. You don't have to know their addiction. You don't have to know if they've ever had an addiction and what happened. Let them volunteer that information.
Yeah.
Just talk to them. They're not as scary as everybody thinks.
It comes down, they're people. They're people. Yeah.
They could be the banker's father. They could be
You
the
never know.
doctor's mother. You never know. They could be some from the biggest family. Some people choose to live in a homeless lifestyle, maybe because of a mental illness, maybe because of PTSD. There's all kinds of things that people become homeless. It's about directing people to where they need to know, showing people that there's still enough love in every community, and it takes one person to step up and say, I want to do this.
Well, honey, you're great because you're that one person that stepped up, and then when you stepped up with your one person, other people started stepping up.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
I love it.
It's just being a voice. I just want to be heard. If they need something said, I'll say it for them. You know, if they're afraid of the backlash, let's go. I'll butt heads right there with them.
Right on. I
You know,
love you.
I want to fight for what's right. Homeless are our problem in every area, the cities, the rural areas, the country. If you see that one person riding their bicycle to the store when it is freezing cold outside, a hot cup of coffee when they were dried back by might be nice.
There you go. It would.
Yeah.
And like you said, something just as simple as a toothbrush or a pair of socks.
Yes.
If you can hand that out, because you go days and days without brushing your teeth, it really does make a big difference.
Yeah. Presentation, they can't get a job. Maybe a clean shirt, maybe a long sleeve shirt. You know, as you see them running around in a shirt with a torn sleeve, give them your jacket. It doesn't, you may buy a new one every year. And you got 10 in your closet.
We do have several places that set up the coach for the cold people or for the homeless people. I know Mary Jane's has it. I know Stars and Stripes have it. I know several places do have the donation places for something like this.
Yes.
So we've also got another community that's still working together.
Yes, and a lot of this time of year, the churches, your fire departments, a lot of your smaller businesses in the rural areas will be taking in donations.
Cool.
Not just for, like Christmas stuff, but they will be taking in jackets and blankets. We take in like tents this time of year because, they may not be able to stay, but if they're homeless and they choose to be homeless all during the summer, if we give them their tent, that's their home. It's wherever their heart and where they lay their head. If they can find a comfortable enough place, that's their home.
Yep.
Some of them's blessed to get them tents, and they will thank you above and beyond for any of that.
It really and again comes back to just keeping the weather out for just a little bit.
Yeah.
Gives them a little bit of downtime to where they can kind of just get back to where they can relax and get back to their world.
Yeah.
That's why I come up where I really want a lifetime license, cannabis license for people, because there's some people that can't fill that paperwork out. And if we can get the lifetime license for them when they're young, boom, that would help a lot of people, in my opinion.
I believe, as in filling out applications, what you said is about some of them can't fill out things. A lot of people still don't know how to turn their utilities on.
Right.
If people would really think, if they did a 1 month, a 1 month program, offered it once a month in your community, think of how many people that even get out of high school, some have been in trouble and went through prisons or RID or this, that really, they got an education, but you don't take your kid to show them how to pay an electric deposit. You don't take them to show them how to pay a water deposit. We teach them how to write checks. We teach them how to have credit cards. We don't teach them how to pay a cable bill.
Nope.
We don't even teach them where to go to pay a bill.
Right.
And there's times when that computer may not work. We have to come back to reality. We're going to have to step up. Even as parents, these kids that are even missing out, you may not be that kid's parents, but show them this is a real water bill.
I'll tell you what, that's one of those things where it comes down to me. I would like that taught in school.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a short break on that right there. You're watching Wake and Bake with OldSchoolAndCo. I hope you toke up and tune back in, because I'm going to give a quick shout out to a couple of sponsors. Be Elevated and Yellow Dog Coffee. Right on. Welcome back to Wake and Bake with Old School and Co. I hope you're toking up and tuning back in, because we've got some great information for you today, talking to my good friend Tanya Riley, and we've also got Tracy Diane from Oklahoma here. Cool. Now, we were covering all kinds of really good stuff last segment. We've got how you're with the CUP program. You started the CUP program.
Yes.
Communities.
Uniting people.
I love that. because you started out doing just one not
A 5-gallon bucket of
5-gallon bucket of soup, potato
serving
soup.
it in cups.
In
Just regular
cups.
cups, just coffee cups.
So this would be one of those deals where people, if they've got gardens and stuff, they could donate their overflow to you.
Yes.
Because since you're not selling it commercially, you're just giving it away.
Yes.
They could take their vegetables to you.
Yes, donations like that are accepted for us, and any of the fresh vegetables, that's amazing, because then we can send out fresh salads or extra meals for maybe lunches. Instead of serving one meal, maybe we can send a sack lunch extra.
Oh, you bet. You
Yeah.
bet.
Yes.
Now, you also deliver meals too
Yes,
in
sir.
Murray County.
Yes,
Now, to get a meal delivered, people have to contact you. And what is that number again?
it is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have it right
I got it right here.
Ready?
It's 580-622-3257, or you can get in touch with me on my personal cell. It's 580-618-6463, and I will direct you to who you need to speak with.
Cool. And anybody answering those phones is going to be able to help them, right?
They are. Yes.
Now, we were talking about the American Legions and stuff getting involved in this, or that they're already involved in gathering up coats.
Well, yeah. Like, they do all that stuff, and then there's homeless veterans, too,
Oh,
in
yeah.
the state. I don't know the number, but it's a lot. I think it's like 40,000.
We have a group of veterans in our area too. It's beyond brotherhood. I don't have the number of it directly,
Okay.
and he helps with
Yeah.
a lot of the homeless veterans, and they get out and they do projects and stuff together.
Oh, yes.
That's great. Now, we can,
Yeah, brother.
the homeless
Yeah.
veterans, sometimes we see them, sometimes we don't, because some of us like to be secluded and away from people.
And they're
Yes.
happy in that shed.
Yes.
Yeah, you're happy away from, because I like to get out in the country and get out and about and get the quiet.
And yes, a lot of homeless choose to be homeless. There's a lot that you can offer help to that will not take the help. They may take the food, they may take the blankets, but they don't want housing. They're not asked to be fixed. They are comfortable with who they are, and I accept them no matter who they are.
That's accept them no matter who they are.
Yes.
You bet, because I've talked to numerous people. I had, when I was getting signatures, I had several homeless people come up to and help me and stuff. And they were great. I
Yes.
loved them.
Yes, there's some nice ones out there, and you just got to get to know them. They're still your community,
Mm-hmm.
no matter who it is. If they're living in your community and they're people too. We can't just
We're all
pretend like they
human,
don't
right?
exist.
Mhm. You can't overlook them, because it comes down to they're people in their own little world. We're living in our world, they're living in theirs, and if they're happy in their world, that's right on. I love that.
Yes, yes. And times are changing. You could be the next homeless person just as anybody else could.
You never know what's
Yeah,
going to happen.
You never know.
Because life does happen to
Yes.
I talk to numerous people, and life is happening to so many people.
It'll make you become very humble.
It will humble you, yeah.
It will humble you.
Because we all go through that, I'm so, down and I'm so bad or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start talking, because I got people that need brain surgery, spine surgery, losing a leg and just on and on and on. And you go,
Yes.
mercy sakes, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. And we're blessed.
We're blessed,
Yeah.
yeah. Now, to get involved, if someone wants to get involved in this program, they'd contact the same numbers, correct?
Yes, you just contact the same numbers, and we'll get back with you. You can leave a message on my cell phone, and I will get back with you, and we'll discuss what, in what areas we need help with. Like I said, we are very small. We serve about 100 people during a week. That's about it on
And
one
you
day.
get to know them too, don't
we
you?
get to know them personally, and a lot of them, because we've been in the communities, and the ladies that's been in the community forever, we know them on a personal level.
Right.
So we try to take snacks sometimes, and if our little food boxes get empty, the ladies can post, and people will go and fill it up. They'll go and put groceries in it. We have very few in our little community, but
Right.
we have our little boxes where you can go and get food out of. If you need blankets, you can call. We'll try to get you blankets delivered to you. I set up at the town square last year during the storm and waited with blankets and food. If anybody needed it, call me. I'd be there.
I'll be there. There
it
you
was
go.
snowing. I was there, but I'll be here waiting on you when you get here.
Now, I would like to see this, in my opinion, expanded to other communities. This would be fantastic.
And I believe it could. It was just being a voice, and being a voice is getting it out there. It's going to these rural communities. Like I said, bigger cities have a lot of help. Our rural communities where we really need it.
Yeah.
And get in there and get, kids, they don't have a lot of times have a lot to do either. So maybe we could get them involved.
That's a great idea because you're right. Kids don't have a
Yes.
lot to do. I'm from a rural community.
Yes.
And you don't have a lot to do,
Mhm.
especially if you live in the country. And that would be a great way to
Yes,
get
and
kids.
it would be a great give back to the community and teach kids to start being humble at a
and
younger
and to
age.
show them that there's something really more important than just themselves.
Give.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
gotta-
gotta give back. Give back.
Yes.
Help. You bet.
Yes.
Right on. I love that.
I just, just everybody just needs to speak. If you see somebody and you see something's wrong, say something about it.
Mm-hmm.
If we keep running around with our mouths shut, nothing's ever going to change in this world. Somebody's got to get out there and say it loud enough for somebody to hear it.
And you come back to you. It's just one person. You start that snowball rolling, and that
Yes.
snowball turns into an avalanche.
Yes.
That is great. Just keep going.
Keep going. And you can see the cup half full or half empty, but we're going to
And
keep
you see it as
fighting.
half full, don't
Yes.
you? I knew you would. I knew you would.
Yes.
Now, all kinds of different communities have some programs, and I'd like to see. I don't know how we could bring them together. That's one of the things that's hard is bringing people together,
Yes.
because everybody gets so focused on their one program, and then they get that going. But to bring them together, that's the hard part.
If we build together, that's when you come back as a community. That's what we need to do, is start bringing people back as a community. We're helping one person and bringing that person, say you have an Inca or you have a Salvation Army or you have this, maybe just that person who just became homeless don't know how to get to those. Maybe it ain't because they don't want to. Maybe it's because they don't know how.
That's a great thing to think about is how someone that just became homeless, because there's all kinds of reasons. You're in shock. You don't know what to do. That would be a great time to help people. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just having them avenues and getting the voice out there. Is just people stopping and talking on the streets like we used to do when we used to walk down beside the street and talk to each other because we didn't have that cell phone attached to our ear. You
Yep.
said hello. How was your day?
Hi, what's going on?
What's
You
going
bet,
on?
Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
you knew
Good to
people,
meet you.
Yeah.
My name is so and so. I live over here on third block down by the big orange tree or whatever. You
Yeah.
understand? That was how you communicated with your community, and we're losing that.
Yeah, we
got to
really
break
are.
that and bring that back. Know your people. Know who's around you.
That comes to me. That comes back to one of those where all those school plays we went to and stuff, and
Yes.
skating rinks and just different stuff like that. All those fun things we did. That was really bringing us together, and you're interacting. And right now we're locked up in our house
Yeah.
so much that we're not getting out and interacting with each other.
No, we're losing it. We don't know how to read people's facial features. We don't.
With a mask, you can't.
People's eyes sometimes don't always tell
That's right,
what
they
they
surely
need
don't,
to tell.
yeah.
So, but that's why you got to be a voice, even behind that mask. If you got to put that mask on, speak loud, talk above that mask.
You
They
bet.
can't stop our voice. They can cover up our facial expressions so we can't see what we're doing, and people can't see how we feel about people.
And our voice really does cover a lot bigger area than what people think.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've got people up at the Capitol that don't want to listen to us a lot of times, like this Senate Bill 1101. I don't like it all. But they don't want to listen to us, and they don't realize that we can mobilize and bring people together. And like I said, we are fighting the analog world with the digital world. We're the digital people. I
Yes.
love fighting the analog world because we can get out there. I love your hat too, by the way. I used to work on the side of the roads, and I used to wear a lot of bright. I used to wear orange shirt and orange hat because you want people to see you. Now I wear a bunch of cannabis stuff because I want people to see the cannabis stuff. Cool. All right, on that right there, we're going to end the show. We've had a great one. I'm sitting here talking to my friend Tanya in Oklahoma. I hope you token up and you tune back in. If you want to be on the show, you can contact us about being a guest. If you want tickets, you can contact us about getting tickets too. All right, toke up and tune back in. Right on.